A little bit of my background is a struggle with alcohol over many years. Thinking back on it, I saw one of the things that started to create the lie. I remember, even way back in high school and college, getting in a little bit of trouble with drinking, and went to a counselor, and he showed me dots, like he put my grandpa up here, and then my dad and all my uncles, and we put a little red dot on that if any of those guys had trouble with alcohol. That lie was perpetuated and nurtured my entire life. Well, this came to a point this time where it was kind of just the last straw, where I finally had burned enough bridges with family members, my wife and my children. I was completely alone, to a point where I literally, it was my last stop before death. If I don't do something different, then I might as well just write it off. I was there. It was so dark that the only thing left that I had a flicker of light was where I had to rely completely and trust in Jesus. During this season where I had a lot of time on my hands, I would hitting a lot of church services and hitting all the encounter nights. I would go with a purpose, with steadfastly, I'm going tonight, and I'm putting the blinders on. There's no phones. You just consciously make that decision that, this is a busy, crazy world, and I need, time just to seek the Lord. Because He's worthy of our worship. He's worthy of our praise. Even when sometimes I don't feel like it. One time, as I was just sitting there throughout the whole thing, I just was sitting and praying and just waiting for God to try to move or try to show me anything, and everything seemed impossible. All I could do was just let God fight the battle. I just went there and just sat, because I didn't even feel like standing up, and as clear as I can remember, God is actually saying, you know what? This is my son Kregg, in whom I'm well pleased, because he sees me as he sees Christ, because Christ is in me. But it had to go from the head to the heart. All that stuff has always been in the Bible, but it just seemed to me like it just started becoming real, because I had no other choice but just to completely trust and rely on Him. To counter the lies that I believed my whole life, He just kind of I saw through them for the first time in a lot of areas, and especially the truth of God's Word. So He just grew me maybe in the confidence and trust of His sovereignty. He's a God that loves me, and that's what happened in this season. I don't know how to explain, just how grateful we are that we have these opportunities here, because we missed it. For 30 years we were kind of dangling on our own, trying to do once a week maybe, and trying to build relationships and things like that. There's power in the gathering of God's people. Again, missing it for so many years, we're just so grateful and thankful. God put people in my life to remind me that I wasn't alone.